Cleveland Browns legend is calling for Shedeur Sanders to start. The Browns great has made his opinion clear. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is officially being lobbied to play Shedeur Sanders by one of the franchise's greatest quarterbacks. Staring down a 2-6 record coming out of their bye week, the Cleveland Browns have been searching for their way offensively all season to this point. After starting veteran Joe Flacco to begin the year, the Browns eventually turned to rookie third-round pick Dillon Gabriel in hope of some improvement. But his first 4 starts haven't netted much success, and now former Pro Bowl QB Bernie Kosar is calling for his ex-team to give Shedeur Sanders a shot. Bernie Kosar, "I'd like to see Shedeur." Appearing on the radio with ESPN Cleveland, Kosar gave his take on the Browns' QB situation and what he'd like to see the organization do in regards to its 5th-round selection from this year's draft. "There's a possibility to not be ready," the 1987 Pro Bowler said. "But again, I'd like to see Shedeur. I want to see him. You will see him. But we tend to massively ruin young men when they play prematurely, void of talent. So I love that young man. I want to see that young man succeed. Just like I want to see Dillon Gabriel succeed. I just think you're going to stunt his growth." Sanders was a star at the University of Colorado, completing 74% of his passes for over 4,000 yards with 37 touchdowns and 10 picks in 2024 behind shaky offensive line play and unreliable run game, showing he can still produce under less than ideal circumstances. Bernie Kosar's Browns career. Bernie Kosar was the first overall pick of the Browns back in the '85 supplemental draft after starring with the Miami Hurricanes in college. Kosar played for the Browns from 1985 to 1993, where made the aforementioned Pro Bowl and finished 3rd in Offensive Player of the Year voting in his age 24 season. He also led Cleveland to 3 10-plus win seasons under the late Marty Schottenheimer. The 61-year-old remains arguably the greatest quarterback in Browns history behind Hall of Famer Otto Graham. Unfortunately for Kosar, his health has diminished in recent years as he battles liver failure and early-stage Parkinson's disease. The buzz in Cleveland has officially reached a boiling point. After weeks of offensive inconsistency, growing tension in the locker room, and a city desperate for answers, a Browns legend has stepped into the conversation, and his message is loud and clear: it's time to start Shedeur Sanders. When former Browns icon and Hall of Fame lineman Joe Thomas spoke during a local Cleveland radio segment earlier this week, fans didn't expect him to drop a bombshell. Known for his even-keeled analysis and loyalty to the franchise, Thomas isn't the type to stir controversy. But when asked about the Browns' quarterback struggles, his tone changed. "You can't keep holding the kid back," Thomas said firmly. "Shedeur Sanders gives you a spark this team hasn't had in years. The offense needs juice, confidence, and leadership, and right now, Shedeur's the only one who brings that." It was the endorsement that Browns Nation had been waiting for. The quarterback carousel. Ever since Deshaun Watson's uncertain status and Dillon Gabriel's shaky performances, the Browns have been searching for stability under center. Head coach Kevin Stefanski has tried to keep the situation under control, insisting that Shedeur Sanders, the rookie phenom and son of Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, needs more time to develop. But time is a luxury Cleveland doesn't have. The defense, anchored by Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, is playing championship-caliber football. The offense, however, looks stuck in neutral. And with every stalled drive, the calls for Shedeur grow louder. What began as whispers among fans on social media has now evolved into a full-blown campaign, one that even Browns legends are joining. Thomas's words hit different. Joe Thomas's comments weren't just words of support, they were a challenge. He's a man who protected a parade of quarterbacks during his career, enduring years of frustration while remaining the franchise's lone constant. So when he talks about spark and leadership, fans listen. He's got the poise. He's got the swagger. The locker room responds to that, Thomas added. You can't teach that kind of presence. Shedeur's got it in his blood. It's hard to argue with that. Shedeur Sanders hasn't just been a storyline because of his famous father. He's shown glimpses of real NFL readiness. During preseason, he commanded the huddle like a veteran. His deep ball accuracy, calm demeanor under pressure, and connection with Amari Cooper turned heads across the league. Even when he was limited in practice reps, teammates reportedly spoke highly of his confidence and attention to detail. Now, as the Browns' offense sputters once again, those preseason flashes feel like a memory of what could be, and what should be. Deion Sanders' influence. Of course, any mention of Shedeur comes with a side of Coach Prime. Shedeur Sanders has been clear about his son's journey: patience, preparation, and poise. But even he can't ignore the chatter coming out of Cleveland. When asked about the possibility of Shedeur starting soon, Dion offered a cryptic smile during a recent interview. When he gets his shot, he's gonna make it count. That's who Shedeur is. He's built for the moment. Those words echoed through social media like a prophecy. Fans began flooding Brown's pages, tagging the team and Stefanski with messages like #StartShedeur, #PrimeTime in Cleveland, and #Let the Kid Play. The movement has grown to the point that even national analysts are picking sides. Some see it as too soon. Others, especially those who've watched Shedeur dominate since Colorado, believe he's ready to take the leap. Locker room whispers. Behind closed doors, sources close to the Browns have hinted that the locker room isn't divided, but it is curious. Players have noticed the young quarterback's work ethic and calm presence. "He walks like he's been here before," one anonymous veteran reportedly said. "Even when he's not playing, he's locked in." Guys notice that. When a team's offense is sputtering, energy matters. And Shedeur's energy, his quiet confidence, his refusal to flinch under pressure, may be exactly what the Browns need. One assistant coach was even overheard saying that Shedeur's practice habits remind them of a young Dak Prescott. Not flashy, not loud, just effective, prepared, and fearless. The Stefanski dilemma. But here lies the problem. Kevin Stefanski's system is built on discipline, structure, and trust. Starting a rookie quarterback, even one as gifted as Shedeur, represents risk. Stefanski has publicly maintained that he wants to protect Shedeur from being thrown into the fire too early. Yet, the fire is already burning. Cleveland sits in the middle of a brutal AFC North race, where every week feels like survival. And every loss digs the hole deeper. The city's patience is running thin, and Thomas's comments may be the tipping point Stefanski can't ignore.